We welcome you on behalf of the Raza Foundation. Many of you are aware that this foundation has been created by the iconic Indian painter Syed Raza and is devoted to promotion of arts, culture and ideas. In our time, one of the things that our social milieu seems to be suffering from is cultural amnesia. We tend to forget our masters, we do pretty little to perpetuate their memory. So we decided in the foundation to create 7 annual memorial lectures, which are after Umar Gandhar, Kabir Tanveer, V.S. Gaitonde, Mani Kaur, Daya Krishna, Agge, and Kelucharan Mohapatra. And we started running the series, and the person we thought of first for the Kelucharan Mohapatra was Dr. Padma Subramanyam. But it was very difficult to get Dr. Padma Subramanyam. And we did not give up. We did not replace her. So while many of these annual lectures have had 2 already, this is going to be the inaugural lecture of Kelucharan Mohapatra Memorial Series. You are very knowledgeable people, so I don't have to tell you about Guru Kelucharan Mohapatra. If a particular dance form bears the imprint of a master so strongly, so powerfully, and so memorably, it is Guru Kelucharan Mohapatra. And I was not aware that he was, I knew that he was a performer as well, but when I came to start knowing him, he was a guru. And a guru will sit with a very young dancer and provide the pakhavaj accompaniment. Until in Nrityagram, many years ago when I was in Bhopal, I happened to be that evening where Kelu Babu and Briju Maharaj had their first Jugalbandi. And it was an incredible experience because to see this bald old man dancing almost bare-bodied, and the subtlety, the complexity, the unfailing classicism that he brought to his form actually made Briju Maharaj fade. Performance was repeated here, etc., etc. And then, of course, as you know, he's perhaps one great guru who trained so many major dancers. There are many major gurus, who have not produced disciples of much consequence. But Kelucharan Mohapatra certainly was an exception. So we thought he should be remembered. Dr. Padma Subramanyam is a very unusual dancer who has combined deep scholarship with dance. Most other dancers took help from scholars and sometimes do remarkable things. But in her case, she combined, and through her we learned how deeply embedded our classical dance tradition is in the Natya Shastra itself. I mean, you know her work, and she has been all over the place. She has been teaching, she has trained a large number of people, she has done scholarly work. So we are very grateful that she is here today to talk about MARGA-DESI SAMANVYA, which has been one of the contentious issues, and there are all kinds of, you see, in India we are never tired of reinterpreting. In fact, you can say our tradition has been reinterpreted, this or that. Sometimes the reinterpretation is reinterpreted, etc., etc. So let us have Dr. Padma Subramaniam. We are very grateful that she has come. Dr. Padma Subramaniam. You sit there if you like.
I'm standing.
Yeah, she can come there. Is this yours?
Yes.
Does it contain a lot of money?
Sadhguru Pyanama. Respected Shri Ashok Vajpayee, respected and my dear senior dance critic Srimati Leela Ji, other Rasikas, scholars. I know though it's a small group, it's a very discerning group. I'm very thankful to Shri Ashok Vajpayee and the Raza Foundation who have invited me to deliver the first Kelucharan Mohapatra. I made a prepared speech, generally I don't do that, but I was conscious of the time factor. It's a very favorite subject of mine, but I didn't want to be going on and on and on. And I was keen that I should show some video material also. So I thought it's better I pen down. Well, the honor for me is double-fold because it is in memory of one of modern India's great gurus in dance who contributed immensely for the development of the art. Of course, it's also a matter of pride to be invited by Ashokji, who is known for his consummate skill in cultural administration, with a deep knowledge of our heritage and a conviction to protect it. Apart from having served the nation as Secretary Culture, he not only developed the Bharat Bhavan as a cultural hub in Bhopal, but also served as Vice Chancellor of Hindi University, where I remember he organized a very important national seminar on the very word culture. His new institution is a symbol of his never-ending commitment to Indian culture. I am touched at his patience for having waited almost a year to get me here to deliver this lecture. I also request Ashokji to convey my pranams to Shri Raza, who I know is not able to be here. Before I delve into the subject of my lecture, namely MARGA-DESI, SAMANVYA, I must be allowed to voice out my fond memories of the Mahaguru of Odissi Nritya. It is also relevant to my lecture. If I give you the background, you'll know why I say this. In the early 60s, when I performed in Delhi almost the first time, I had already discovered the Karana sculptures of Chidambaram temple and also discovered that the sculptures are like frozen moments of movements, and that each sculpture is like a still photograph of a moving dancer. And in my choreography for a Varnam and Tillana I composed myself at that time. I had presented these numbers in Delhi, and the well-known critic of those days, Charles Fabry, wrote a very positive review for my dance. but also added that I was copying Orisi dance in my choreography, though my performance was labeled as Bharatanatyam. It was very surprising for me because I had not seen Orisi dance till then. To be even influenced by it, forget about copying. Recently, when Srimati Leela Ventraman, it is there in my text, I am not including your name because you are here. When she was given a prestigious award for the Critic Award at Krishnagan Sabha recently, she mentioned some very interesting details about the early days of discovery of the dance format, which came to be named as Odissi, because those days she was very much with Venkatram in Orissa. Hence, there was absolutely no chance for me to have even a glimpse of Odissi dance before I was said to be copying Odissi dance. The same month I presented my dance drama Meenakshi Kalyanam. I was quite young when I started choreographing. I was still in my late teens. This full-length dance drama Meenakshi Kalyanam was presented with some Karanas presented in the static attitude. Those days I hadn't also discovered the movements. But I had started my research under Dr. T.N. Ramchandran then itself. And I was very lucky to meet Guru Kelu Babu in Bombay the very next month after this Delhi event, where he was kind enough to make Kumkum Das, now Kumkum Mohanty, to perform Odissi for me, and he himself demonstrated. And this was just one-to-one meeting with him. And what was supposed to be for half an hour became 2 hours. And it was a great day for me because I could recognize the fact that Odissi has a lot of Natya Shastra in its format. Like, I could recognize the Karanas of Natya Shastra in the Tribhanga, and also the rhombus for the lower half of the body. And this friendship grew more through our association with our dear artist couple Sanjuta and Panigrihi. When another dancer, another equally great dancer, Sonal Mansingh, and I shared the stage in Soviet Union for nearly 6 weeks, Guruji was also touring with us. He even accompanied me when I sang some songs. He was such a wonderful person. He was so childlike. When I started organizing All India Natya Shastra Siksha camps in different parts of our country, I invited Guruji to the Bangalore camp. He spent 4 days with us. It was all done on a Gurukula pattern. About 50 participants from all over India would come, and we would all be staying together for a fortnight. And at that time, for 4 days, Guruji was there with us along with Mishra ji and Kumkum Mohanty again. And we had time to thoroughly discuss and interact. And Guruji himself was performing for the participants, and I was recognizing the Karanas from the Natya Shastra point of view. And the same thing was done when the great Manipuri Guru Rajkumar Singhajit Singh and his wife participated in an earlier Natya Shastra Siksha camp which I had organized at Coimbatore, when a lot of unexpected links were revealed. All the camps had cumulatively led me to understand my own work as a reconstruction of the common grammar called Marga that had been linking all the Deshis for centuries. The Deshis, or the regional forms, had been discovered and developed in post-independence India. Their underlying common grammar was what I had recovered after a gap of several centuries. This result was arrived at through a natural process in research for over a decade in the reconstruction of the dance technique as described in the Natya Shastra and depicted in the sculptures. To be honest, I was not conscious of the common grammar since I had learnt only Bharatanatyam. When I started performing the Karanas, critics could recognize resemblances to several regional styles. Some thought I was mixing up, and one called it a cocktail of various styles, and that did not produce any anger in me. I was only more and more getting clarity about the connectivity. I could understand the presence of Natya Shastra in all the regional existing styles and could see how the common elements mentioned in the Natya Shastra are scattered all over the subcontinent and perhaps even more. Well, now let me try to define Marga and Deshi. Bharata Muni in his Natya Shastra does not use these terms. These are later terms. His Natya Shastra is essentially easily the oldest text on dramaturgy in the world. The date of this work has been attributed to different periods of time ranging from 500 BC to 508,000 years. That's how precise our chronology has been. But I have proved in another work of mine that even the present text of Natya Shastra is contemporaneous to Valmiki. This discussion is beyond the purview of this lecture. The terms Marga and Deshi have come down to us in the fields of Gita, Vadya and Nritta from perhaps the time of Kohala, who was a junior contemporary of Bharata Muni himself. However, Matanga Muni's Brihad Deshi, attributed to the 8th century AD, is the first available work to treat Deshi in a systematic way. Most of the post-Bharata works, like Sharandeva's Sangeet Ratnakara, 1213 AD, Jayasena's Nritta Ratnavali, 1249 AD, Parshvadeva's Sangeeta Samayasara, 1300 AD, and many others like Someshwara's Manasollasa have all recorded Marga as the earlier Paddhati and Deshi as an additional one. Nritta Ratnavali defines Marga and Deshi as follows. Are there any Sanskrit scholars here, or shall I just give the translation? Just the translation. Okay. Quote, that which is delineated in Natya Veda, perceived by Maharishis and propagated by sadhus, is referred to as Marga by the elite. And the next definition, does it not have the fruit of filling up the lacuna in Natya and Abhinaya? It is popular as Deshi due to the likes of the people of respective regions. So this is Marga and Deshi defined in Nritta Ratnavali. Authorities like Narada, Parshvadeva and Kumbha have parallel definitions for the terms Marga and Deshi. Deshi is not governed by country-wide niyama or rules, whereas Marga is common grammar for the performing arts, for the entire Indian subcontinent and perhaps for the entire Asian continent. Deshi can be understood as the regional preference in taste and is connected to the Marga for the basic grammar. We can draw a parallel on the analogy of linguistic development. Dr. Raghavan has shown a parallel. He compares Sanskrit and the rich Prakrits in the linguistic field, and that is how we should understand Marga and Deshi. Marga as the common refined grammar, common to the entire area, and Deshi as the regional observance. The continuity of intellectual analysis in the history of Indian performing arts is evident in the works of authorities of various regions of Bharatakanda, in which both the Marga foundation and the regional Deshi observances are documented. It is interesting to note that the syllabus for the training of artists included both Marga and Deshi. This is evident in every region of our Indian subcontinent, including Tamil Nadu. I say this including Tamil Nadu because you know what it has been in Tamil Nadu. We have our own Dravidian politics. The imaginary curtain, rather say iron curtain, that was created between Sanskrit and Tamil, or the so-called cultural divide between Manipur and the rest of the mainland of Bharat, or all the psychological outcomes of the intellectual conspiracy of the foreigners to divide and rule us through the creation of stories like Aryan and Dravidian race theory. The study of Natya Shastra has proved beyond doubt that the whole Indian subcontinent had been a common cultural entity from Himalayas to down south. It is not true that only the British brought the whole landmass under one name. Puranic geography tallies with the description of ethnic groups and their respective regions in the whole of Indian subcontinent when we look into Bharata Muni's description. The Natya Shastra has been truly pan-Indian. Tamil Nadu has truly been part of this Bharatiya cultural unity. Well, a little digression. Bishop Caldwell, writing a new grammar for Tamil, was only to use a splinter to cut the Sanskrit link. The centenarian sage of Kanchi, His Holiness Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Swamigal, had explained Tamil as Dravidi Prakrit, which was erroneously described as dead language. The great philologist Rajendra Lal Mitra was of opinion in 19th century itself that Tamil is Dravidi Prakrit. Marathi is recognized as a Prakrit of Sanskrit, but Maharashtra was described by the Puranas as one of the 5 Dravida Desha. So where is the link? The language is under Sanskrit and the Desha is Dravida Desha. Where is the big divide? The term Dravida was used to connote the region lying south of the Vindhya mountains, and the land north of this mountain range was called Gauda. The term Arya from our own sources meant just refinement and definitely not race. Bharata's work in Sanskrit runs to 36 chapters, and the number tallies with the 36 tattvas of Shaiva Siddhanta philosophy. This work, I would say, Shaiva Siddhanta philosophy of both Kashmir and Tamil Nadu. The work gives us the full view of physical, intellectual, emotional and spiritual values of permanent nature. These concepts are beyond time and space and hence invaluable. The work is called both Natya Veda and Natya Shastra. Veda because it gives wisdom, and Shastra because it gives knowledge. In short, it is the science of dramatic art. I was elated to find the Marga-DESI Samanvya right at the elementary level in dance art through the Natya Shastra. For example, take the basic element of Pada Beda. The 5 positions of the feet are Udghatita, Sama, Agratala Sanchara, Anchita and Kunchita according to Natya Shastra. These Marga concepts are still alive in our deshis.
Pada Veda gives you the basic variations.
Like.
In Sama, the entire soul touches the ground. Let us see Samapada simultaneously performed in Bharatanatyam, Mohiniyattam, Orisi, Kathak and Otantullal styles. This is Anchita, the Natyadal of Bharatanatyam used in all styles. Agratala Sanchara is to plant the toes. This is Kuttadal in Tamil. Udghatita is method of Bharatanatyam. All Deshi styles retain it. Kunchita is to have an arched soul, as we often see in Western classical ballet. Lord Nataraja's raised foot is called Kunchita Pada because it is arched. Manipuri in northeast and Kathakali in south use Kunchita soul, but they balance on the sides of the soles. Technically, it is called Parshvi Pada in Sanskrit and Vadimbu Padam in Tamil. In Manipuri, we call these Pada Vedas Kongthamakal. For example,
Kongdon, Kuni, Kongpak, Kudon Natava, Kudon, Kongchek.
the Natya Shastra gives 6 sthanas or basic stances for the body Just as the Western classical ballet dancers have positions numbered for practicing their movements. These are based on the direction in which the toes are turned, the space between the feet, and also the reduction in the height of the body. These are all common to Indian sculpture and Indian dance. The sthanas are Vaishnavam, Samapadam cha, Vaishakham, Mandalam tatha, Pratyalidam, Tathalidam sthanam yetani shandranam. Sama is the main sthana of Kathak.
It helps us to gain speed. So, Mandala Sthana is the Aramandi of our Bharatanatyam.
Mandala is the main sthana in Mohiniyattam also.
In Autumnal, we use both Vaishnava and Mandala Sthanas.
We have Vaishnava Sthana called Thankho in Cholam Tandava. In Odissi, we call this is Chauka. We have Mandala and also Vaishnava.
Thank you. Now you can see Pratyalaya Sthana and Vaishaka Sthana in Kathakali.
We have Alida Sthana in Thangta, that is sword and spear dances. Apart from these, we have 3 special sthanas for enhancing feminine grace.
Strinam sthanani karyani gatishva bhashaneshu cha ayatam cha abahittam cha ashvakrantam mathapi cha.
The concept of feminine grace has been common to our entire Bharat from very remote times. This icon is from Mohenjo-daro of the Indus Valley civilization. It is in Ayatasthana. The same posture is described by poet Kalidasa for Malavika, his dancer heroine. That's from Madhya Pradesh region. You have the same flow of body lines in the beautiful South Indian bronzes of Devi figures. It is still a living tradition. All these sthanas or period in Manipuri are used in our lasya, for example. This last one is also called Sabol Kire, which means horse posture. It's same as Ashwakranta in name and form. Nati Shastra transcends time and space and is very much a living tradition. What a striking uniformity and continuity. Amazing. The basic standards of Nati Shastra are common to all dances. Ekam Satam Tata Vipra Bahuda Vadanti. Reality or truth is one. It is only recognized differently.
For the entire Indian subcontinent, namely Bharatakanda, and the continent as a whole is called Jambu Dvipa in the Natya Shastra itself. The 4th chapter of Natya Shastra deals with the 108 Karanas, which were the basic units of dance. Well, I was ordained to discover that Karanas were movements and not static postures. Karana sculptures are seen meticulously sculpted at Tanjavur, Brihadishwara temple, early 11th century, Sharangpani Swami temple at Kumbakonam, 12th century, and Nataraja temple at Chidambaram, 13th century. These dance sculptures were meant to guide dancers in Marga technique and incidentally also add to the architectural embellishment. Before I started my research in the early 60s, Bharatanatyam dancers who were disciples of my guru Natikala Kesari Valvur Ramya Pillai were taught to copy the sculptures as static postures, particularly for the song Natana Madinar. This was my guru's innovation, which was woven into the, the Karanas were woven into the existing Adavu system. The dancer will perform an Adavu and then take a posture, copying a sculpture. That's how my guru did. I introduced the Karanas in the static attitude in my choreography for dance drama Meenakshi Kalyanam in 1962. By 1963, I realized the Karanas are actions and not static posture. I did my PhD under the guidance of Padma Bhushan Dr. T.N. Ramchandran, who was a great archaeologist and a linguist. My first research article describing Karanas as movements appeared in the Assam Research Journal in 1963. That was the starting point of the Marga technique of dance coming back to limelight. In 1991, after thorough research, I documented the Marga Karanas in the documentary serial Bharatiya Natya Shastra. It also showed which part of the Karana movement is registered in the sculptures in the three temples. This 13-episode serial, Bharatiya Natya Shastra, was scripted by me. I personally appeared in it, and it was directed by my late brother, Sri Balakrishnan. I would like to just show you a small clipping. There is no time to show you all the 108 Karanas, but you will see about 12 or 13 Karanas. You will see where the movements are frozen. If you see four-armed Shiva figure, it is from Tanjavur. Shiva with two arms are figures from Kumbakonam. And Devi figures with two hands are from Chidambaram. You will see where they are juxtaposed. This is not the beginning, I am just starting from somewhere. This is the 20th Karana.
To learn this Karana Bhujanga Trasitam because it involves the Nataraja posture which all of us Indian dancers use. Dominic, Kushali, Sugandhi, get up and try. Take the Mandala Sthana. Now round the leg, flap, twist, drop. Other side, round, flap, twist, drop. The hands go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Just like this, each Karana has to be practiced.
It may look easy and simple, but when you perform it, the nuances make it very difficult.
If you follow Bharata's methodology for pedagogy, you can perform any movement. That's the strength of Margi, which is linked with all Desi forms. Now let's continue to see the other Karanas.
complete study of Natya Shastra gives us the unlimited scope that the Marga has been offering the whole continent, and more so for the Indian subcontinent. Three major points can be perceived for the holistic approach found in the Natya Shastra. Number one, recommendation of the styles in the artistic production in relation to the basic taste of the regions. Two, language management. There was no Hindi agitation at that time, no Sanskrit agitation. Number three, costumes and color for the representation of the ethnic groups. So under these three, we are able to see the wide range that Bharata covers, even geographically. I would like to show one of the 13 episodes from Bharatiya Natya Shastra which deals with what are called vrittis and pravrittis. The vritti pravritti is perhaps the mother of the later terms in the history of performing arts, namely Marga and Desi. I'm going to show you the whole episode, 11th episode. Only at a pan-Indian level. I have enough material now to expose the Marga-DESI SAMANVYA at a pan-Asian level, which I am yet to document. I need money, I need somebody to commission. The imprints of India can be seen all over Asia and Southeast Asia. Before that is India, but Bharata Khanda as it was known earlier.
On vritti and pravritti, perhaps Jayashree can start. Well, we saw that out of the four styles of production, Bharati and Satvati vrittis are speech at verbal and
not
thought.
this.
I thought it's a bad number.
I could have skipped that number and called it 14. But 11?
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Go to the...
You say that the Natya Shastra is a commentary for the entire Bharatavarsha. How do you account for the tangible diversities in styles? Yes, Akka. For example, Kathakali has so much of facial expression. How can you reconcile its affinity with the very graceful but the expression with Manipuri?
Our fast Kathak is far from your slow Chaukavarnams of the present Bharatanatyam of Tamil Nadu.
Yes, these are all diversities for sure. The facial expression of Kathakali or the grace of Manipuri are definitely styles acting as counterpoints in the total polyphony of Bharatiya culture. Polyphony? Can you please explain? Polyphony is a kind of music which has more than one melody played at a time to produce a beautiful blend of all. There may be a main phrase for which counters are added. They all merge into one piece of music. Here is a variety and not diversity. It's true you see different styles of dances. These are bound to continue on the same lines because of certain inherited common psyche in the regional preferences in art. That does not mean they are contradictory to each other. Bharata himself recognized these regional preferences and enumerated them under pravrittis.
പ്രവൃത്തി എന്നാൽ എന്താ?
To make it easy, I must first explain vritti. Vritti is a style or mode of activity pertaining to thought, word and action. When they are ornamented in Natya, we get four vrittis. They are Bharati vritti, pertaining to activity of speech, Satvati vritti, which is activity at the mental level, Arabhati vritti, which is forceful activity of the body, and Kaishiki vritti, indicating graceful activity of the body. The Natya Shastra says that Brahma noticed the origin of these vrittis in Vishnu's combat with Madhu and Kaitava. The decision to fight gave Satvati. Exchange of harsh words led to Bharati. Vishnu, tying up his locks gracefully, preparing for fight, gave place to Kaishiki. An actual fight created Arabhati style. Can we take these as styles in production of plays? More or less, yes. I think you will understand more easily if I show you the existence of the four vrittis in our Indian cinema. Our silver screen is, after all, a daughter of the traditional Indian theatre. A production written mainly in Bharati vritti may have extraordinary literary value, along with a reflection of a consummate skill on the part of the actors to recite the vachakas with proper punctuation, pronunciation and intonation. As an example of Bharati vritti, here is a clipping from a Tamil film. Shivaji Ganeshan, one of our greatest film personalities, is well known not only for his acting, but for his delivery of dialogues with the density of his voice and recitative power. His performance in the title role of Veerapandya Kattabomman is unforgettable. Satvati vritti is marked by emotional style with strength gained from characters, situations and subtle acting with less verbal or physical expression.
तुझे मालूम है मैं तेरी तरह बोल सुन नहीं सकता.
In the Hindi movie Koshish, director Gulzar has made Sanjeev Kumar and Jaya Bachchan articulate a poem in silence. They enliven the roles of the dumb hero and heroine, radiating Satvika Vinaya with sublime Lokadharmi. Arabhati vritti depends on pageantry, spectacular scenes, glamour of costumes and thrilling fighting sequences. See the graceful agility of action of M.G. Ramachandran, another matinee idol of the millions, in the film Neerum Nirupum. Kaishiki vritti has its association with beautiful long kesha, that is, tresses, and hence depends on feminine charm, lilting music, pleasant costumes, graceful dance, and all this based on attractive romance and man-woman relationship. Almost all Indian filmmakers have these points in mind, though they may not be aware of the name of the vritti. If our films are musical, with songs even for tragedy, it is a continuance of this Kaishiki tradition. See Kamal Hassan in a romantic sequence with Rati Agnihotri in the box office hit Ek Duje Ke Liye.
ऐसे जैसे
of the vrittis.
The wonder is that the study of Natya Shastra helps us even to analyze the contemporary media.
Wait, there's more. Apart from the timeless value, see the pan-Indian nature of this ancient work. I'm giving you yet another proof of the common cultural ethos of Bharatavarsha and the immanent nature of its unity. Here comes the importance of pravritti and its relevance today. You remember what vritti is? Yes, Akka. You said vritti is a style or mode of activity pertaining to thought, word and action. Good. Understand pravritti as vritti peculiar to a pradesha or region with its traditional observances born out of special moorings resulting in particularization in taste. Bharata recommends specific vrittis for 4 pravrittis by dividing the whole of Bharatavarsha into 4 cultural zones. Presently, our government of India has formed more than 4 zonal cultural centers. Bharatavarsha of Bharata's days, which was much larger than the present territory of India, had only 4 cultural zones. They are Panchali for north, Odra-Magadhi for east, Avanti for west, and Dakshinatya Pravritti for south. See the gamut of landmarks that Bharata has covered in his Natya Shastra. Incidentally, it throws light on the ancient geography of India. Panchali Pravritti included the whole of northernmost part of Bharatavarsha. The regions mentioned are Valika, that is, west of Hindu Kush mountains in Afghanistan, Kashmir, Madra, Lahore region in Pakistan, Usinara, Himachal Pradesh, Salvaka, Alwar Jaipur region in Rajasthan, Surasena, Agra Mathura region west of Jamuna, Panchala, western Uttar Pradesh, Hastinapura, northeast of Delhi. Hence, Panchala Pravritti included part of Afghanistan, Kashmir, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh and western Uttar Pradesh. The styles recommended for this Pravritti are Arabhati and Satvati. Do you need any other better proof for the amazing continuance of the taste of this region for Arabhati than in the most forceful Bhangra dance of today? You may wonder, where is Satvati in it? In such a dance of exuberance, the intense feeling of joy and enthusiasm causes the release of energy in their vociferous yelling. It's indeed a combination of Satvati and Arabhati. Justified? See the martial nature of this dance of Kullu Valley in Himachal Pradesh. While this is in the folk strata, the Kathak, which is the classical dance of the region, also exhibits so much of Arabhati in their hair-splitting rhythmic exercises in head-reeling speed. The Odra-Magadhi Pravritti pertained to the eastern region. The area included Nepala, that is central Nepal Kathmandu region, Videha, southeastern Nepal, Magadha, Patna region of Bihar, Anga, Bhagalpur Mongi region with northern portion of Santal Parganas, Pundra, Rangpur region in North Bangladesh, Malada, Malda district of West Bengal, Bengal, Mahendra, northern part of East Bengal, northern part of region, the Putanga, that is the region of West Bengal, and Margava and Vaksan identified. This Odra-Magadhi Pravritti has a very large area and Bharati is recommended Bharati and Satvati Vrittis for recommended. Satvati means that it could be verbal or emotional or combining verbal styles to please the audience of this region. It is interesting to note the unbroken traditional taste in the productions in this region as seen in the Jatra of this region.
The child dances of Bengal, Bihar, Orissa are known for their suppressed flourishes of facial expression. For their cow dance of Orissa still continue to dance many of the child Natya even if they use, they communicate effectively. The sobriety facial expression with a mental condition, bhakti with the Manipuri dances. The Bharati and Satvati in Gurudev Tagore's work reflect the Hindu-native taste. Today's Bengali taste and even their Satuna explicitly demonstrate this. As far as Orissa is concerned, its arts reflect the merging shades of the eastern and southern cultural zones. Hence, you see the culture not only Bharati and Satvati, but a mixture of Kaishiki Vritti, which is meant for just the southern region. The Odissi dance has a flow of the body line like Manipuri, yet it has the clarity of precision of the southern style. The Dakshinatya Pravritti is meant for the southern zone. It included Kosala, perhaps Dakshina Kosala, the area between Nagpur and Orissa, south of Mahanadi. Tosala, Puri district. Kalinga, southern Orissa. Andhra, coastal Andhra, Godavari Krishna region. Mosala, Masuripatnam region in Andhra. Dramida, Tamil Nadu. Mahavenna, Krishnavenna river region including part of Maharashtra, and Vanavasika, Shimoga district of Karnataka. It's both relevant and interesting to note the mountains of Dakshinatya Pravritti. It includes the Mahendra Mountains. According to a recent study and research, the southern end of the Western Ghats, also called Mahendra, has been submerged in the Indian Ocean along with a landmass which included the present Sri Lanka.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yes, we need interdisciplinary research. The geologists can take clues from works like Natya Shastra and Puranas. The Eastern Ghats are only a northward continuation of the submerged Mahendra. Malaya Mountains denote the southern end of the present Western Ghats. Sakya Mountains are the northern part of Western Ghats. Mekhala Mountains are the Michael Range in Madhya Pradesh. In short, the country is lying between the Vindhyas and the Indian Ocean coastline, as it was in the days of Bharata, where to take the Dakshinatya Pravritti. It's made up of one Kaishiki Vritti. This explains the unlimited love for music and dance that this region continues to have. Perhaps this is also the reason for a meticulous urge for preserving most of the aspects of Angika Abhinaya in the south. The entire Abhinaya Hastas of Natya Shastra continues to be a living tradition. The Mukhaja aspect of Angika Abhinaya is comparatively more pronounced in the south than in any other part of India. The dramatic forms are highly music and dance oriented. The Shringara aspect of Kaishiki Vritti continue to be seen in most of the southern dances. For example, in most of the dance of Orissa, the dance of Andhra tradition, Bharatanatyam of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, Kerala. In all three Vesha, that is, the lady characters played by male artists, Kaishiki is predominant. Examples are Bhagavad-Leela of Tamil Nadu, Yakshagana of Karnataka, Kathakali of Kerala, and even Gotiboa dance of Orissa. The Nangayars, or the lady artists in Kudiyattam, have their own graceful dance form. Mahanubhavo Telokka Dullaha Ruva Ruvadisayomam Nukam Vedi. Is Kerala not mentioned in Natyashastra? At the time of Natyashastra, Kerala was a part of Dramida. The coastal line could have also been different.
How can Kathakali be grouped under Kaishiki style?
If we take Kaishiki Vritti to be Angika based, then Kathakali, which is essentially a dance drama, will come under it. Bharati and Satvati are not that pronounced. An average Kathakali dancer conveys ideas through the hands and eyes based on Angika Abhinaya. If you find the force of Arabhati in Kerala style, it may be due to the influence of martial arts like Kalavipait and Velakkai, as well as certain tantric practices and dances of ancestral worship. These have added a shade of psychic force to the Keralite culture. That is where the regional moorings or the Deshi come into play. The flavor of Keralite culture can be experienced in the Sinhala dance of Sri Lanka, now popularly referred to as Kandyan. But for the small mixture of Arabhati in the southern tip, the Dakshinatya Pravritti still continues to exhibit the taste for Kaishiki. The Avanti Pravritti covers the western zone, which included Sindhu, west of Lower Indus River and southeast of Bolan Pass in Pakistan, Sauvira, east of Lower Indus River, Khairpur, Bahawalpur region in Pakistan, Saurashtra and Gujarat, Anarta, the coastline northeast of Dwarka in Saurashtra, Arbudeya, Arbuda or Mount Abu, Malava, Kotha and adjoining region in Rajasthan, Avanti, Ujjain region in Madhya Pradesh, Vidisha in Madhya Pradesh near Bhopal, Tripura, near Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh, probably the present Tewar, Dasharna, both mountain and river of the same name near Sagar in Madhya Pradesh, and Vrittikawat, probably Mehta in Rajasthan, west of Ajmer. The Avanti Pravritti is to have Satvati and Kaishiki Vrittis. The romance of Halasaka and Raza dances from the days of Bhagwan Krishna to this very day is seen in their dances like Dandiya Rasa. Rajasthan compensates the dryness of the desert with the unlimited colors of their costumes, intricate craft of their shining jewelry, and the radiance of their sprightly dances to lilting music. This is another Kaishiki aspect seen as a living tradition of the Avanti taste.
With such a panoramic aerial view of Bharatavarsha, given in the ancient text on performing arts, there can be no doubt about the unity of culture that bound this landmass from time immemorial.
Against this backdrop, how can we allow ourselves to be weakened by disintegration of our common Indian psyche?
Where was the need for Bharata to talk about the whole of Bharatavarsha if it was not considered as one cultural, intellectual and spiritual entity?
Let's read the Natya Shastra and revitalize our unity. The technique can wait.
Thank you. You would agree that you rarely listen to a lecture. It's so illuminating, so provocative in different ways, and it leads you to such marvelous discoveries about your own tradition. Thank you very much, and thanks a lot, all of you.